Brick by brick, this mansion was built to keep the living out and the dead in. Within its walls, secrets breathe and shadows speak. Welcome to Haunted Mansion Stories. Every mansion has secrets. This one whispers them in the dark. Listen to the secrets only if you dare.
The wind howled through the trees, a mournful sound that echoed in the stillness of the woods surrounding the cabin. I had arrived just before sunset, the last rays of light filtering through the dense canopy, casting eerie shadows that danced across the ground. The cabin, a weathered structure with peeling paint and a sagging roof, had belonged to my grandmother, Ethel. I had never known her well, but her passing had left me with this unexpected inheritance, a place that felt more like a prison than a sanctuary. As I stepped inside, the door creaked ominously, as if warning me to turn back. The air was thick with the scent of damp wood and something else, something metallic that made my skin crawl. I shivered, pulling my jacket tighter around me. The interior was sparse, furnished with only the essentials: a rickety table, a couple of mismatched chairs, and a fireplace that looked like it hadn't been used in years. On the wall hung a faded portrait of my grandmother, her eyes piercing through the gloom. I felt a chill run down my spine as I met her gaze. There was something unsettling about the way she seemed to watch me, as if she knew secrets I was yet to uncover. I rummaged through the drawers, hoping to find something that would shed light on her life, but all I found were old letters and a small, leather-bound journal. The pages were yellowed with age, filled with my grandmother's neat handwriting. As I flipped through it, I stumbled upon a section that made my heart race. Rules of the cabin, it read. 1. Never leave the cabin after dark. 2. Do not disturb the woods. 3. Always keep the fireplace lit. 4. Do not invite anyone inside. The last rule sent a shiver down my spine. I was alone, but the thought of something lurking outside made my skin prickle. I glanced out the window, the darkness swallowing the trees whole, and felt an overwhelming urge to lock the door. Night fell quickly, wrapping the cabin in a shroud of darkness. I lit the fireplace, its flickering flames casting long shadows that danced across the walls. The warmth was comforting, but the crackling would only amplify the silence, making me acutely aware of every creak and groan of the old structure. As the hours passed, I tried to distract myself with the journal, but my mind kept wandering back to the rules. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I glanced at the window, half expecting to see a pair of eyes staring back at me. Suddenly, a loud thump echoed from outside, followed by a rustling sound. My heart raced as I stood up, straining to listen. The rules flashed in my mind. Asterisk, asterisk, do not disturb the woods. Asterisk, asterisk, I felt a pull of curiosity, but fear held me back. The thumping grew louder, and I could hear whispers, indistinct but urgent. I pressed my ear against the door, my breath hitching in my throat. The whispers seemed to call my name. Asterisk, asterisk, Lila. Lila, asterisk, asterisk. I stumbled back, my heart pounding. I remembered my grandmother's warnings. I had to stay inside. I had to follow the rules. But the whispers grew louder, more insistent, and I felt an overwhelming urge to open the door. With trembling hands, I reached for the doorknob, but just as I was about to turn it, I heard a voice behind me. Lila, don't. I spun around to see a figure standing in the shadows, a man with wild hair and eyes that glinted like a predator's. Who are you? I gasped, my heart racing. I'm Jonah, he said, stepping into the light of the fire. I live nearby. I saw you arrive and wanted to warn you. Warn me about what? The woods, they're not what they seem. Your grandmother knew it. She kept the cabin for a reason. What do you mean? He hesitated, glancing nervously at the door. There's something out there. Something that doesn't want you here. You need to leave before it's too late. I felt a wave of panic wash over me. I can't leave. I inherited this place. I have to stay. Jonah's expression hardened. You don't understand. The rules are there for a reason. If you don't follow them, it will come for you. Before I could respond, the whispers outside grew louder, a cacophony of voices that seemed to claw at my sanity. I backed away from the door, my mind racing. Please, just listen to me, Jonah pleaded. We need to get out of here. But as I looked into his eyes, I saw something that made my blood run cold. There was a darkness there, a hunger that sent a chill down my spine. No, I said, shaking my head. I can't trust you. In that moment, the door rattled violently, as if something was trying to break in. The whispers turned into screams, a chorus of anguish that filled the cabin. I felt the heat of the fire flicker, the shadows growing darker, more alive. Lila, Jonah shouted, panic in his voice. You have to let me help you. But I was frozen, caught between the rules and the chaos outside. The whispers grew louder, drowning out everything else. I could feel the presence pressing against the door, a weight that threatened to crush me. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the noise stopped. Silence enveloped the cabin, thick and suffocating. I dared to breathe, my heart pounding in my chest. What was that? I whispered, my voice trembling. Jonah's eyes widened in fear. It's coming. We have to go now. But before I could respond, the door burst open and a figure loomed in the doorway, a shadowy silhouette that seemed to absorb the light. I felt a cold dread wash over me as it stepped inside, its presence suffocating. I turned to Jonah, but he was gone, vanished into the darkness. I was alone. The rules echoed in my mind as the figure advanced, and I realized with a sickening certainty that I had broken them all. The cabin, my grandmother's legacy, had become a trap, and I was its next victim. As the darkness closed in around me, I understood that some inheritances are not meant to be claimed. The door slammed open with a force that shook the walls. The flames in the fireplace sputtered and dimmed, shrinking to trembling embers. Cold air rushed in thick, heavy, alive. I froze. A figure stood in the doorway, tall and impossibly thin, its outline shivering as though it couldn't decide what shape to take. The darkness around it pulsed, swallowing what little light remained. My breath hitched. The shadows didn't fall on it. They bent toward it, as if drawn to feed. Jonah, I whispered. But there was no answer. The place where he had stood moments ago was empty, except for a faint trail of ash leading toward the back wall. The figure moved. Not forward, not backward. It seemed to fold, like smoke curling against an unseen wind. And when it spoke, the voice wasn't one, but many, layered and broken. You broke the rules. My knees nearly gave out. I stumbled back, reaching for the poker by the fireplace. My hand closed around cold metal, but the fire was almost gone, only a few dying coals glowing like eyes. The third rule echoed in my head. Always keep the fireplace lit. Stay away from me. I shouted, thrusting the poker toward the shadow. It stopped, tilting its head. The shape seemed to waver, and for a split second, I thought I saw a face, pale, sunken, and horribly familiar. Grandma? The air trembled. A whisper, soft, mournful, rippled through the cabin. You shouldn't have come back, Lila. My stomach twisted. I took a step closer, unable to help myself. What is this? What did you do? I kept it here, the voice said. All these years. The fire fed it. The rules contained it. You let it out. The realization hit me like ice water. The rules weren't meant to protect me. They were meant to keep something imprisoned. And I had broken everyone. The figure lunged. I fell backward, slamming into the hearth. Pain shot up my arm as the poker clattered from my hand. I scrambled toward the firewood, desperate to relight the flames. My fingers shook as I struck a match. The first one snapped, then another. The shadow loomed closer. "You can't save yourself," it hissed. "You belong to the woods now." The third match caught. A tiny flame flared to life. I threw it into the fireplace, and for an instant, the room exploded in orange light. The thing screamed not in pain, but in fury as its form fractured into shards of shadow that scattered across the cabin walls. And then, as quickly as it had come, it vanished. I collapsed to the floor, gasping, my hands blackened with soot. The fire roared back to life, its heat washing over me like salvation. I thought it was over until I noticed the journal, lying open on the floor beside me. The ink on the pages had shifted, words bleeding and rearranging themselves. A new line appeared beneath the list of rules, the letters forming as if written by invisible hands. 5. Never let the fire die, or she will take your place. My blood ran cold. I looked up at my grandmother's portrait. Her painted eyes gleamed in the firelight, and this time, she was smiling. The fire burned low, crackling softly, almost rhythmically, as if breathing. I sat in front of it, knees pulled to my chest, unable to tear my eyes away. Every time I blinked, I saw her smile. Ethel, my grandmother, or the thing wearing her face. Outside, the wind moaned through the trees, carrying whispers that sounded too human to be the breeze. My body screamed to stay inside, but the air was thick with smoke. The flames, though alive, had begun to shift, the color fading from orange to a deep, unnatural blue. Something was wrong. The words on the journal's page pulsed faintly in the flickering light, like a heartbeat. Never let the fire die, or she will take your place. I grabbed the poker, hesitating. The room felt smaller, the shadows pressing in, and from somewhere behind the walls came a faint scraping, nails, dragging slowly through the wood. I can't stay here, I whispered to myself. I have to go. The first rule be damned. I wrapped my scarf tight and stepped toward the door. The moment I touched the handle, the fire roared violently behind me, sending sparks into the air. A voice rose with it, faint but furious. Lila, don't leave the cabin. Jonah's voice. I froze, heart pounding. Jonah. No answer, just the hiss of wind outside. I turned the knob anyway. The door groaned open, and the cold hit me like a wave. The forest stretched ahead, vast and endless, the trees swaying as if in anticipation. Mist coiled between their roots, silver and shifting, and somewhere in the distance, something moved. I stepped forward. The ground was soft and wet, the air heavy with rot and pine. Every sound felt amplified, the crunch of my boots, the whisper of branches overhead, the faint drip of unseen water. Then a laugh. Faint, childlike, coming from deeper in the woods. Jonah. I called again, my voice trembling. Is that you? No answer, only that same soft laughter, echoing from all directions. I followed it. Against every instinct, I walked toward the sound, my flashlight beam cutting through the fog. Shapes flickered in the periphery, too fast to catch. The laughter turned into a whisper. Then words. Follow me. Branches clawed at my sleeves as I pushed forward. My light caught movement, a figure up ahead. Jonah. He was standing perfectly still, his back to me. Jonah. I gasped. What's happening? What is this? He didn't turn around. When he spoke, his voice was wrong, hollow, like wind through a grave. It's the woods, Lila. They remember. They never let go. A shape shifted behind him. Tall, formless. The air warped around it like heat over a flame. Run, Jonah whispered. I stumbled backward as the figure lunged, a blur of black and bone, its limbs too long, its mouth a gash of lightless void. I ran, crashing through the trees, heart hammering. The forest closed in around me, each path twisting back on itself. Branches tore at my clothes, my face, my sanity. I ran until my legs gave out, and when I finally stopped, gasping, I saw the cabin ahead. Except it wasn't the same cabin. The paint was new, the roof whole. Smoke drifted lazily from the chimney, and through the window I could see a woman sitting by the fire, her back to me. "Grandma?" I whispered, stepping closer. The woman turned. It wasn't Ethel. It was me. Her eyes met mine, same color, same fear. She opened her mouth to speak, and though I couldn't hear the words, I understood. I hadn't escaped the woods. I had gone in circles, and somewhere the fire was dying. The reflection in the window didn't move when I did. I stood in the clearing, the cabin's light flickering through the fog, and the woman, myself, sat inside by the fire, frozen in an endless stare. The realization sank in slowly, like ice spreading through my veins. I was outside looking in, but somehow I was already inside. "Lila." The voice came from behind me, soft and brittle. I turned. It was Jonah, or what was left of him. His skin was pale, almost translucent, veins black like ink beneath the surface. His eyes glowed faintly in the gloom. "You shouldn't have come out here," he said, voice cracking like old wood. "She's waking up." "Who?" He looked toward the trees, his jaw tightening. "The forest. It's not alive, it's remembering. Your grandmother bound it here, fed it, but she couldn't destroy it." My breath trembled. The fire, the rules, they weren't for her. Jonah nodded slowly. They were for it, to keep it asleep. I felt the weight of every choice crushing me. Then why did she leave it to me? His expression twisted in sorrow. "Because someone always has to keep the fire burning." The words hung between us, heavy as ash. A deep rumble rolled through the ground, low and guttural. The trees shuddered, their roots writhing like snakes beneath the soil. The air grew thick, choking. The forest was breathing. I stumbled backward. "We have to go." Jonah didn't move. His body began to wither, his outline breaking apart like smoke. "There's nowhere to go. You're already part of it." "What are you talking about?" He raised a trembling hand toward me. "Look." I followed his gaze. My fingers, trembling, pale, were streaked with dark veins like his. The cold seeped deeper, spreading through my skin. "No," I whispered. "No, no, no." The earth split open beside us, roots bursting from the soil, slick with black sap. They twisted upward, forming shapes that almost resembled faces, eyes, mouths, all whispering in unison. "Keep the fire alive. Keep the fire alive. Keep the fire alive." The chant rose in 1,000 voices, old and young, all echoing through the woods. Jonah's voice joined them, faint and fading. She thought she could end it, but the fire only binds. It never burns it away. The cabin door creaked open behind me. Warm light spilled across the clearing. Inside, the fire blazed bright again. My reflection still sat before it, her lips moving soundlessly, her eyes hollow. And I understood. I wasn't meant to escape. I was meant to replace. The forest howled as the wind picked up, scattering ash and whispers. My body grew heavier, my heartbeat slowing to a dull thud. I turned toward the cabin, drawn to the warmth like a moth to a flame. Each step I took, the world dimmed a little more. By the time I crossed the threshold, Jonah was gone. The woods fell silent. I sat before the fire, the heat licking at my skin, and felt something settle behind my eyes, an ancient, weary stillness. My hands no longer trembled. The journal lay open beside me, the ink shifting once more. A single new line appeared beneath the others, slow and deliberate. 6. Keep the fire burning, for the next to come. I stared at it, numb, as the light from the flames flickered across my grandmother's portrait. Her smile was gone now, replaced by a look of infinite sadness. Outside, the wind whispered through the trees, carrying my name the way it once carried hers. Ethel. Ethel. But my name wasn't Ethel anymore. It was Lila no longer. It was the Keeper, and the fire would never die again. The woods were quiet when I arrived. Too quiet. I killed the engine and sat for a moment, staring at the cabin through the windshield. The map had said this land belonged to an Ethel Holloway, passed down to her granddaughter years ago. The records ended there, no mention of what happened after. Just abandoned property. But standing here, it didn't look abandoned. The paint, though faded, still clung to the wood. Smoke drifted lazily from the chimney, curling into the twilight sky. And even from the car, I could see a soft orange glow flickering through the window. Someone was inside. I grabbed my camera, slinging the strap over my shoulder. As a documentarian, I'd seen my share of ghost towns, forgotten homes, and urban decay, but something about this place made my stomach twist. When I stepped out, the forest seemed to sigh. Branches swayed though there was no wind. The air was thick, heavy with the scent of smoke and soil. My boots sank into the earth as I made my way to the porch. The boards creaked beneath me, groaning like old bones. "Hello," I called. "Is anyone here?" No answer. Just the low hum of the woods. The door was slightly ajar. Warm light spilled through the gap, pulsing faintly like the rhythm of a heartbeat. I hesitated, but curiosity always won. I pushed it open. The interior was neat, old-fashioned. A rickety table, mismatched chairs, the scent of burning wood. And there, by the fireplace, sat a woman. She didn't move. "Ma'am?" I said softly, stepping closer. Her hair was silver, long and unkempt. Her hands rested on her knees, palms up, as if waiting for something. The fire cast her face in flickering gold. When she finally looked up, I froze. Her eyes were empty. Not lifeless, hollow. "Sorry," I stammered. "I didn't mean to intrude. I'm doing a piece on old family properties. Are you?" She spoke before I could finish. Her voice was calm. "Steady. Too steady. You shouldn't be here after dark." A chill ran through me. "Excuse me." She turned her gaze to the fire, the flames reflecting in her pupils like molten glass. "The woods don't like strangers. You should go before the whispers start." My throat went dry. "You live here alone?" She smiled faintly, but it didn't reach her eyes. "No one ever lives here alone." The wind picked up outside, rattling the windows. The fire flared bright, then dimmed. And as the shadows lengthened, I saw it, the journal lying open on the table beside her. Its pages fluttered though there was no breeze. Curiosity overrode fear. I stepped closer, my camera forgotten. The top of the page read, "Rules of the Cabin." And beneath it, 6 lines written in dark, curling ink. 1. Never leave the cabin after dark. 2. Do not disturb the woods. 3. Always keep the fireplace lit. 4. Do not invite anyone inside. 5. Never let the fire die, or she will take your place. 6. Keep the fire burning, for the next to come. My heart skipped. "What is this?" I whispered. The woman looked up at me again, her lips trembling, not with fear, but with something like pity. "It's your inheritance." Before I could react, the fire roared to life, the heat blistering. The light exploded across the room, and in that instant, she was gone. Only her chair remained, rocking gently in the still air. Outside, the wind howled through the trees. Somewhere deep in the forest, the whispering began again, soft, familiar, calling a new name. Hannah, Hannah. And though I don't remember ever telling anyone my name, the sound of it froze me where I stood. The journal's pages flipped one last time, landing on a blank space below the rules. The ink began to move, forming new words, curling into a 7th line. 7. Do not forget your name.
Leave now, but beware. The mansion remembers those who enter, and it will call you back. You've walked the halls, heard the voices, and felt the chill. The story ends for now, but don't forget to like and subscribe because the mansion waits. Always.